What up? Welcome back to the channel. I'm A.K.A, and we're locked in. This is episode 7 of Queens Who Shot You. Now, I knew I took a break. My parents were here. Thanksgiving came up, and hey, I got a little bit busy. But anyway, we're back. The ladies, they're doing their thing, and they're actually coming together now. We're still working on getting this world tour and figuring out how we can get little Muffin to join in with us. But before we get into this episode, shout out to the notification gang. If you're new to the channel, you want to be a part of it, hit the subscribe button, turn on your notification bell so you get something every time I upload. Hit that like button. It's the easiest thing you can do. Now, we know Brianna's husband, he passed away. We also see that Jill is starting to get a lot of light. Everyone's looking at her like, okay, you might be the star of the group now. And V, she's having that issue with her mom coming back. And it's just so hard for her to focus and maintain knowing that the lady that she was never involved with is back. So let's jump into it. This is Queens, episode 7. Now, you remember when they first did their award show and they came back and they were deciding on going on a world tour. All the women were outside. They were happy. Oh yeah, we getting back on track. We about to make things happen. But there was a masked up guy that came and he disrupted everything. Now, our manager is telling us, look, ladies, we got the world tour. The queens are back. We got our future in our hands. This is the biggest moment that we have since the 2000s when we messed up at our old show. Now, we know that the masked guy comes up and he disrupts everything. Talking about masked up. We don't know who he is, but he lets off a couple of shots. And we know that Eric gets hit. The ladies, they getting right. We got the photo shoot going. We got to get these pictures together because the whole world is going to see it. We got the world tour coming. Come on, ladies. Little Muffin, get your little cute self in here too. We got to make sure we get this right. Behind the scenes, though, we trying to make something shake. We on the phone. They talking about some Jones Arena or something like, We going to be in New York. We need Madison Square Garden. Now, he's getting a phone call and it says, do not answer. You know, I get the thing that pops up on my phone that says scam likely. That means he had a program this in. Whoever's number this is, do not answer. Ever. Now, they're getting on Valeria because we know that her mom is shown back up. But also, there's pictures of her taking a picture of her credit card. So we're thinking, wait, your mom shows back up. You're about to go on a world tour. You're getting more money. And Naomi and Bree, they're saying, hey, you need to ask her about that. Because what it looks like is she trying to steal your identity, get some money up off of you somehow. She hasn't been around in all these years. But, you know, V, for her, you know, it's my mom. I haven't seen her. Forget what you guys are talking about. Maybe it's just a big misunderstanding. Brianna and Naomi, they talking, and Naomi, she's been smiling. We know that they shot a new video, and the director, he's feeling her. Naomi, you, girl, you killing it. And now she's smiling up, and Brianna's like, whoa, you know what I'm saying? You talking to him? Well, that's a good look for you. And you know, when you got somebody you're interested in, you can't stop smiling. So she's telling Naomi, you should go ahead and do this. Especially, you ain't been on a date in years. I mean, decades. Now, Brianna and Naomi, they're starting to open up to each other. We know all the women, they had their own little things going on. And she's telling a story about how she met Jeff and they went on their first date. He spilled some wine on her, trying to get a kiss. And he went and bought her a sweater to change into. That's Jeff, she said. Messy, but memorable. And now she's saying, why couldn't you tell me about Eric? Now, this whole time they were working together, Eric was the manager, so they were keeping it low key. We know that Eric was kind of public with Valeria. He just wasn't with Naomi, but that was more of her because she didn't want anyone to think that she was sleeping with the executives, managers to make it to the top. So, of course, nobody's going to know. No one even knows that Jojo is his. Now, Valeria, she's hearing what everybody's saying about her mom. So she goes back and she wants to know from the horse's mouth, okay, what are these pictures of you taking a picture of my card? Now, she's saying, I was on the set of my daughter's video. I haven't seen her. I seen a black card. I didn't even know that these were real, so I took a picture of it. What do you mean you didn't know if they were real? All you had to do is Google. You got a phone. Get on there, Google. AMX black card. They're real. You got to have at least, I think it's $100,000 minimum in your account at all times. So all you got to do is Google it. It'll tell you everything about it. But you took a picture of it with the cards. Now, hopefully, Valeria, she isn't falling for this nonsense. No one should ever take a picture of your credit card. Now, kids might do it because, you know, they're kids and they're going to do that. But an adult, they know better than that. Now, V takes this credit card to Eric. And what she's doing is He says he has a guy that can actually look up people. So they're going to take a fingerprint off of it. And then with that, you can put that in the database and you can run it and you can find if they have a criminal past, who they really are, and things of that nature, if they're in the system. 9 times out of 10, well, I won't say 9 times, 7.5 times out of 10, people's fingers are going to be in the system, whether it's from a new job that they have, especially government jobs that's starting to take fingerprints now, military, police officers, things of that nature. You'll be able to find who people are and their records. Now, we mentioned that Jill is becoming a star. She's the standout performer. Also, she came out the closet. She's let the world know that she's openly gay. Now, Wyclef, he said, I seen you at the BET Awards. I said I had a lock in with her. So he has her in here doing some vocals. And she's like, okay, cool. Now, she's giving some advice and telling them, hey, your hook is a little, you know what I'm saying? You may need to put another layer on it. And he's listening. Like, Jill, you know what you talking about. You want to help me do all of that? So Jill's hearing this, and this is the opportunity that she always wanted. When the group first started, she didn't have that big of fame. She wasn't as big of a star as she is now. So she's telling Wyclef, hey, I'm here. I'm ready to record whatever you need done. Let's knock it on out. You remember little Muffin got out of rehab, and what she's thinking about doing is living a regular person's life. She went to the store, she bought all kinds of nonsense, boxes of cereal, ramen noodles, and she's never ate like this before. So she's taking the seasoning and just pouring it on top of the dry noodles, not cooked nothing, and she's biting it. So it's about to be all kinds of seasoning in her mouth, dry. And those noodles be hard as hell. But this is what happens when you haven't lived a regular life. Now, Eric, he's been talking to little Muffin. She owed the record label $750,000 because they got her up out the contract. They just had to cover that money. And where'd they get this money from? Jadakiss, $750,000. Jadakiss shows up, though, because it's time to collect. He said he would have $100,000 by the 11th. The 11th rolls around. Of course, he doesn't have this money. We haven't seen him do any shows, any kind of endorsement deals. All we seen was a photo shoot. So he's here to collect, and Eric's like, yeah, I ain't got it. So Jadakiss, he said, hey, you know how we gonna handle this? We could take it back to the streets like we did in the 80s and the 90s. And one of his security guards shows that gun. Now we got rehearsals. Jill, she's been in the studio with Wyclef. She's trying to make something shake. So she shows up. And she's like, look, y'all, I'm sorry, but I'm really dedicated to you guys. I'm just going to be honest, because she's not going to hide anything from here on out. And that's the best thing to do. Hey, y'all, Wyclef wants me to record with him. Whenever we have some free time, that's what I'm going to do. But I'm fully committed to the group. And they're like, okay, Queens for life, because that's all you have to do. I tell you guys in every show we watch, conversation rules the nation. If you just come to somebody and you tell them what's going on, 9 times out of 10, you're going to be able to talk your way through it. And that's what they did. Now, the Queens, they have a press conference to talk about the world tour that's coming. They talk about, we're going on a world tour. So, they super hyped. All of the media, they don't care about what the Queens are saying. They want to hear from Jill. Jill, we seen your interview this morning with Tina. Will she be on tour with you? Jill, what are you going to do with this? Jill. And she's like, hey, this is about the Queens. Do you have any questions about me and my girls? And then Naomi takes over talking about there's no hierarchy. We're here. We're all sisters. We're moving forward. We're worried about this world tour. Now, before this even happened, Eric told him, don't let the media separate you. You see this all the time because a negative story is better than the real story, the truth. The lie is always more entertaining than the truth. So if you can split them up, get them to argue up there, that headline, Queens argue world tour press conference, is better than Queens announced going on a world tour. Y'all know how it is in the media. Now we know we got to come up with $750,000, $750,000, and we ain't got it. Now Lil Muffin is saying, in rehab, I learned I needed to take accountability and responsibility for myself. So what she's saying is, there's a guy that's been in her DMs. He's been begging her to do a private show. And Eric's like, we don't do that. You said that's corny. Well, when you need some money, she's saying she can get $250,000 from whoever this guy is for a private show. I would have said, hello? Yeah, we can do that tonight if you want to do it. 250,000? Yeah, let's get that done right now. Now, we have a lot going on. We know Valeria and Eric, they're talking to a private investigator to figure out who is actually Valeria's mom. We took that thumbprint and it shows out Rosie, No, this isn't Valeria's mom. This lady is a career criminal. Now, she said that she had V at 19 years old. Well, the lady that's pretending to be your mom and doing this little con, she was in jail in Baltimore, so she can't be the mother. And V is saying, this is why people say I'm so mean and I always have my guards up, because this is how she's treated. She thought this lady was her mom and brought her in, but that's why I say you got to vet everybody. Just because they say they're your parents, you still got to watch them, because sometimes your family can be your enemy, but in this case, her enemy is her enemy, pretending to be family. Eric is telling her, look, we're going to handle this, but when you see her, act like you don't know what's going on, because we don't know how she's going to act. She's been in jail before. She's pulling this con at a high level where she's basically trying to steal millions from you or whatever you do have in your account. So he's saying, don't approach her by yourself. Just act like you don't know what's going on, and she's going to pay. We're going to get her back. Of course, Tina doesn't like what Jill is doing in the media. So she's telling her, look, I could go to the media and tell them who you really are. I could expose everything. And Jill's saying, why are you even doing this? We ain't got to do this. But that's why you don't even talk about your relationship in the public. Because once it gets in the public, now everything is going to be scrutinized. And Tina's saying that's messed up what you did. Pretty much throwing her up under the bus like that. You didn't even have to say none of that, Jill. But Jill, she never had this kind of star power. Everybody wants to know what Jill is doing, and she's just out there letting it go to her head. Brianna shows up with Naomi, and when they get to the restaurant, she's looking at it, and for some reason she's saying, I can't go in there. But Naomi, you're going to be fine. Now, Naomi was using her as a support system. It's her first date out in years. She really doesn't know this guy outside of professional stuff. So, she bringing along a friend. Now, that's more than fine. You bring a friend. Hey, you come out on a date with me, you bring a friend. I respect it. This is your safety thing. Let me make this clear. I hope your friend don't think I'm paying for anything that she eats or drinks. Me and you, I got you. Your friend, that's on you. I'm not interested in her, so I'm not investing none of my hard-earned money into her. Now, if she wants some water, put that on my bill. Now, Naomi, she gets in here, and this is unexpected. I'm listening to them talk, and he actually wants to get to know her, so he's asking questions, You haven't been out in a while. What do you like doing? Blah, blah, blah. She ain't used to all of this, so she just jumps straight to the point. Hey, you're hot. You think I'm hot? He like, hell yeah. So what are we really doing here? You know what I'm saying? That's what we both hot. What's happening? What we on? My man is laying the charm on now. She talking about, well, let's get this to where we both wanted to get to. And he's saying, listen, Naomi, you don't seem easy, and this seems a little too easy. What's really going on here? I'm like, he's saying everything he needs to say. This is some stuff that I would present to a woman because, hey, when it's too easy, it's too easy. Yeah, you got to take it easy, gentlemen. Back to this money mission that we on. We trying to get at least 250,000. We can have a third of this 750. Now, Lil Muffin, she shows up, and this guy is allegedly a billionaire. He has an app, and he's making things happen. You know how it is when you have a little bit of money. He's telling her, hey, you know what I'm saying? You need to come with me. Ben, you can go talk a little bit, and we're going to make something happen. Eric, he's being protective of Little Muffin, as he should. And he's like, nah, she doesn't go anywhere without me. He's like, brother, I'm a billionaire. The little money that you talking about, it doesn't even faze me. Naomi ain't never felt like this before. She actually likes this man. And she goes and FaceTimes Brianna. And she like, I never heard you say that. I've never heard you say that since the 10th grade. Now, the reason that Brianna didn't go in there with her is because that's where they had their first date. Now, she has on the actual hoodie. You remember, Jeff spilled wine on her, so he went and got her an I Love New York hoodie. That's why she didn't go in, because it was just bringing back too many memories. So she's at home and she's telling Naomi, go ahead with it. Don't sabotage this. If you like the guy, enjoy the date. Now, Valeria just goes against everything Eric told her. Hey, act like you don't know what's going on. Do not confront her by yourself. First thing she goes and does and say, Rosie isn't your real name. And she's looking at her like, hey, like, let's just take it easy here. And she does the wrong thing, talking about, I'ma call the police. Why? She snatches V up, puts her against the wall, talking about, I'm not going back to jail. What you should have done was call the police before you even got there. So when When you get there, they there. Because now you don't have any reinforcements. And this is exactly why Eric said don't confront her by yourself. Because we don't know what she's capable of. And she's saying, I bet you won't go to the cops now because you know what I'm capable of. I would have said, yeah, you're right. I'm not going to go to the cops. I would have left, called the cops, and then had them come and get her. I wouldn't have did it while I was there. Now, me personally, I ain't calling the police because I wouldn't have put myself in this situation. I would have went over there with Eric and some people with them things on them just in case it got out of control. But this is what happens when you try to do things on your own. And it's a very dangerous situation that she put herself in. Now, the thing is, this guy's a billionaire. And what he's saying is, you want this $250,000? I don't know if you went to business school like I did, but I'm the customer and I paid for a product and I want it. So pretty much what he's saying is, I'm paying you $250,000. You're going to take this Coke. You're going to get a little bit high with me and we going to party because this is what I'm paying for. We know that she isn't the same little Muffin that we seen in the beginning of the series. So she's thinking, I'm not doing this. That's not what I'm here for. We here for a private performance. I'm going to do that. We're going to get paid and we going to leave. Whole time, Eric is watching. Now they come over there and they like, look, we ain't doing this. Me and Lil Muffin, we leaving. The billionaire, though, he has different plans. He brings security over there. And Eric, he outnumbered. And at this point, you're looking at it like, man, I'm about to get my ass whooped in here trying to save Lil Muffin. I knew we shouldn't have done this. But that's the thing. When you need money, you do some things that you may not normally have done. May not been in your character. Naomi, she doing her thing. She ends up leaving her date because she has to go be with Brianna because she's going through it with everything that happened to Jeff. We're back on Jill. We know her and Tina, they had their little argument. We also know that she was recording one song with Wyclef. Well, it turns out he's saying, when you get off a tour, I want to go ahead and produce your first solo album. Now, of course, she wants to do this. The only thing is the Queens, they're predicting to make their returning album as soon as the tour stops. So it's going to be hard for her to decide between the two. The thing is, Jill, she decides to put her friends, her family, the Queens above her solo project. Because it's nothing to do to record that album and then right after jump into this one because you'll take the momentum from the Queens, boom, Jill solo, which would actually be a better rollout for the Queens album and then the Jill the Thrill solo album. 30 minutes before Billboard, we see V's fake mom and she's looking over, she's watching, she creeping, lights down, window down. And she got a pistol in the seat. All the ladies, they come over to support Brianna because they know she's going through it. And this is what you're supposed to do. The sisterhood, brotherhood, y'all all come together and you make sure that your loved ones, they're doing good. Now, it turns out Jeff actually left a video message for her. And what he's doing is apologizing for everything that was going on between him and Brianna. He knows he can't fix things. He's also saying if you're seeing this, then unfortunately he didn't make it. But he's just showing his appreciation for her. Even though he did some things wrong, he can't change that. He just wants her to be strong and to move forward with the best for her and the kids. So this is a very heartfelt message that he left. And it's a good thing that he did it. So she won't have the lasting memories of his mess ups. She can appreciate the good that he did bring. Now we know Eric got to come up with $750,000 and Jadakiss is now playing. He knocks on the window with a pistol. And long story short, the 11th is when you were supposed to have $100,000. So Eric is saying, all right, man, look, when the tour starts, we could do, you know what I'm saying? I can get you that money. Jadakiss says, no. That offer is dead. $750,000? No, we need more than that. So what he wants is 10% of the total tour. That's the business proposition. So he's going to probably make, let's just say they make $20 million, $2 million. I'm talking about, man, yeah, you should have paid that $750,000. Now, Eric is saying, I can't do that because it's not my money. All he is a manager. Jadakiss tells him, yeah, you the king of shady accounting. You'll figure it out, but I want 10% or you a dead man. Eric hears that deal. He's like, the hell with that. He hits one of the security guards. Bing. Man, he gets up out of there. But Jadakiss over there, pop, pop, pop. He firing off shots because, hey, man, I want that money. I want that 10%. We go back. We fast forward to where they're at the Billboard discussing the world tour. Eric is shot. He's fighting the guy. They tussling. He gets him down to the ground. Whoever this masked guy is, he gets up and runs off. Well, it turns out during this little scuffle, Brianna was shot too. And it's like, oh my goodness. Can it get any worse for the queen? There you go, episode 7 of Queens. Let me know, what do you think about Eric and this 10% that he owes Jadakiss? And do you think that Brianna is going to pull through from this bullet wound? Let me know what you think. I'm Mo.J. If you like the content on the channel, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Thanks for watching. I'm out.
Jimmy on the beat, boy.